more examples. So suppose we have x plus 2 to the 3 halves, the whole group. Let me just make a real brief comment here. You cannot make it x to the 3 halves plus 2 to the 3 halves. You are not allowed to do that. No. You can't take an exponent over addition. Okay, so back in your previous algebra class, you would have learned something like this, and you have to write it x plus 2 times x plus 2. So keep that in mind. All right. So how are we going to deal with that 3 halves? Well, the thing that we want to do is get that to be an exponent of 1. So we're going to put parentheses around it. We're going to raise it to the 2/3 power and raise the other side to the 2/3 power. An exponent to an exponent, you multiply them. 2/3 times 3 halves is 1. So you just have x plus 2. Now, the way you think about this is the exponent 2 over 3. The denominator is your index. And the 2 sits underneath with the 8. So you have 8 squared, the cube root of 8 squared. All right. So 8 is 2 times 2 times 2. This 8 is 2 times 2 times 2. So, because it's a cube root, you're looking for groups of 3. For that group of 3, 1 comes out. For that group of 3, 1 comes out. So you have 2 times 2 is 4. It's x plus 2 equals 4. You're going to subtract 2. You're going to subtract 2, and you get equals 2. All right. What happens if you have 2x to the 4th minus 32x squared equals 0? Well, we begin by factoring. So we have 2x squared, and we have x squared minus 16 equals 0. We're going to use that 0 product property and write it as 2x squared equals 0 and x squared minus 16 equals 0. Let's deal with this first. Divide by 2, x squared equals 0. You're going to take the square root on both sides and you get x equals 0. Now, there's 2 ways we can do this. We can factor, which tends to be my preferred method, but you can do it either way. So I have x plus 4 times x minus 4 equals 0. Use it again, the 0 product property. X plus 4 equals 0, x minus 4 equals 0. And then subtract 4 and you add 4, and so you get x equals negative 4 and 4. Or you can take that 16, move it over to the other side, making it positive. X squared equals 16. Take the square root, take the square root. If you impose the square root, you must put the plus or minus. And so x is equal to plus or minus 4. All right, another example, using the same process as before. So suppose we have 12x to the 4th equals 3x squared. We'll factor out a 3x squared, and then we're left with 4x squared minus 1 equals 0. 0 product property, so 3x squared equals 0, and 4x squared minus 1 equals 0. Divide by 3, divide by 3, you get x squared equals 0. Apply the square root, and you get x equals 0. Now, I could write plus or minus 0, but 0 is just 0. It's a signless number. So, this is unnecessary. 4x squared minus 1, that's a difference of squares. So 2x minus 1, 2x plus 1. Take each factor, set it equal to 0, because we're using the 0 product property. Add 1, subtract 1. 2x equals a half. 2x equals 1. Divide by 2, and then we get x equals a half. 2x equals negative 1, divide by 2, and we get x equals negative a half. Okay. Hopefully that helps.